Hi folks, Mac Kerfman here with M.A. Kerfman Learning and Consulting. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about reading. Reading has been on my mind. I just finished a study that was posted in the Harvard Business Review. It was the National Endowment for the Arts study, and they found that reading is on the decline in almost every group of American adults. In fact, they say for the first time in U.S. history that less than half of the U.S. adult population is reading literature. In fact, they tie it in this article, they then tie it to the lack of leadership in America as well. I think it's a very sad statistic. About 25 years ago, when I was a city manager in Pennsylvania, I read a quote by Harry S. Truman when he was President of the United States. And his quote said, "Not all readers are leaders, but all leaders are readers." And what that quote did was it spurred me on to become an avid reader. So I became a person who just read a lot. In fact, the last several years of my life, I've been on a pace of about 100 books a year. I read about 100 books a year. And so I want to talk a little bit about why I read. There are three reasons why I read, the three reasons I enjoy reading. The first reason is that it challenges me. Every single book or every single article that I read, it challenges my way of thinking. Sometimes it challenges my beliefs. Everything that I read challenges me. It gives me ideas, something that I had never thought of before. It changes the way I think about things. It gives me a fresh perspective on things. So it really does challenge me. So I encourage you to pick up a book, pick up an article, and challenge yourself by reading. The second reason that I really love reading is because that I can build expertise in myself very quickly by reading. If I have a problem, let's say in my business, I need to solve, what I do is I get a couple of books on that issue, that problem, and by reading, I can implement the things that I learn and hopefully solve the problem that I have. So reading not only challenges you, but gives you other ideas, fresh perspectives, and builds expertise in you as well. Now the third reason for me is probably the most important reason that I read. You know, I'm pretty smart, but reading allows me to spend time with people who are way smarter than I am. And that, for me, that's important. I really like that. I can open up a book and I'm sitting at the foot of that author. You know, people like Dale Carnegie and Stephen Covey and Jim Collins and Michael Porter and Michael Port and just Daniel Pink. I mean, just tons and tons of people who are just way, way smarter than I am. I could sit at their feet, read their book, and learn from them. Now, not everything that I read is useful. Not everything I read I believe. But it always challenges me, and it always gives me a fresh perspective, and I learn something from everything that I read. So those three reasons, that's why I read, that's why I love reading. I will challenge you, please, I will challenge you to read. Maybe, you know, if you're not comfortable with 100 books a year, that's okay. You read what you're comfortable with. In fact, here's the next part of the challenge. It's not on my website yet, but shortly, hopefully it will be. I'm going to start a reading group. We're going to start a reading group, and what we're going to do is we're going to read probably a couple of books a month. And you can be involved in whatever you want to be involved in. You don't have to be involved in everything. But we're probably going to pick a couple of books a month and we're going to read through them. We'll talk about them. Maybe we'll have a Skype call or something like that once a month to talk about it. And maybe we'll have a Facebook group. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is yet, but I do want to put that challenge out for you. So pay attention to my website. That's makerfman.training. And it'll shortly be up there, and I'll make that challenge to you. So read. Again, those three things all the time. I love reading because it challenges me. It helps me build expertise in myself. And most importantly, for me, I spend time with people who are just way smarter than I am. So I look forward to seeing you again the next time. Thanks, folks. Take care.